Questions?
Where they get 3 milestones in one night. Just what does it mean to see Krejci, Krug, and Backes there get their deserved milestones there?
Well, listen, it's a team game, but individually, these players, obviously enjoy, having a certain level of success, and that, if the individuals are having success, it breeds team success and vice versa. So I'm happy for all those guys. They're, Krejci and Krug have been great Bruins for a number of years. Backes, not as long as those guys, but a great NHL player for a long time. So, and it's nice to see them healthy. Krejci looks good this year, and we've had a few hiccups in the past, it's setbacks, but this year he's been good. Backes as well now, as you see his skating legs, particularly the last 3-4 weeks. I think he's been a much more efficient player for us. Krug's always been productive. It's a tough start for him in terms of his injury, but I think their health, if those players can stay healthy, they've proven they're good players in the league, so I don't see that changing as long as, like I said, they can stay out of the medical room.
Is there any difficulty with taking Krejci out of that spot with Bergie coming back, given how well he's played with Marchand in the past?
Well, we're assuming Bergie's he's very close. We know that. Whether it's tomorrow, Saturday or Sunday or next week, we don't know. But let's say it is, then that we're going to have to look at the do we want to upset all the lines maybe to balance it out, or just want to drop Bergie back in there and move Krejci without DeBrusk being in the mix. I'm a little more reticent to just move Krejci out of there and keep those 3 together, but that's something we'll have to look and see how Jake's progressing for one. So it's a lot of ifs, but yeah, it's going to be tough, but a very welcome decision to have Bergie back in there. Like I said, you can't lose, right? That's the way I look at it. Whoever we put in there, whether it's Krejci or Bergie, we're a better team for it. Whatever center gets, moved on to the next line.
Going back to what you said about Krug, he didn't really have much of an on-ramp to the year given his injuries and given the injuries on D. How do you think he's handled that? Kind of just being, you're counting on him more to defend more now. You're just counting on him more in general, and he's a guy who probably is pretty rusty at that point.
Well, I'm sure he'd prefer a normal training camp and a normal time to get going, but that's it is what it is. He's adjusted well. It took him a little bit of while to find his shooting stride. You're starting to see him score more because of his decisions to shoot the puck in certain spots. Some of that is just the game comes around you when you're a good player. The puck finds you a little more. It's Krejci the same way. Obviously, playing with those 2 guys, it does find you more. But Marchand at the start of the year, same thing. I think was looking to pass more, and all of a sudden the puck finds you in the right spot. So those good players generally, it'll balance out. It's happened with Torrey in the offense. The defending part, that's all usually on the player makes that decision how hard they want to defend. That's something that's usually will and compete. And we've played him with Carlo, and he's playing usually against the second line in general, so he's done a good job for us there. And until we get back to a full boat, that's kind of the ask for him. See how it plays out.
The last 6 series, maybe the best 6 you've played since the injuries?
Defensively, for sure. I think we're working hard for one another to support one another in terms of our routes, forechecking, neutral zone, working to get back above the puck. We've had stretches where we've obviously played well. But yes, I think team defense-wise, you look at the last 2 games, of course Yaro's there for us making saves, but I think they're both, we're almost another shutout. I think you could put those under the team category. Sometimes the goalie, hey, he's just not going to be beat that night. But in general, I think the last 2 games we've really worked hard for our goaltender to limit the chances. There's always going to be a breakdown here or there where you need the big save. We got that in the second period, I think, in the PK. So good for Yaro, but yes, defensively we seem to have found our stride.
It took a little while for your offense to kind of come in tonight.
Well, they're a good defensive team. They clog it up and they defend hard in front of their net. Obviously, our power play made a difference, and that matters. I mean, that's a big part of our offense and has been all year, fairly consistent. We'll have the odd dip, but for the most part, they'll bounce back. 5-on-5 defended real well. We just had some issues scoring goals 5-on-5. And hopefully, we get better and better. Sometimes you generate and it doesn't go in. That happened, I think, in Pittsburgh. It did go in, but not enough. Tonight we didn't generate as much. I give some credit to Anaheim for that. They played a pretty tight game. Their goaltender was good when he needed to be, but I see it coming around. They're 4 in Montreal, 3 in Pittsburgh, 3 tonight. optimistic in that regard, especially the last 2-3 weeks.
You know, on the power play, I mean, that's going to change back, I presume, to what it was when Bergie comes back. I mean, but now do you see like back as in something that you can go back to if you need to, or something?
Yeah,
like
he was good in the bumper last year. We threw Riley Nash in there. I think it's a coveted spot, so to speak. I mean, you're going to see pucks. There's a lot of ozone time. Those guys zip it around. Usually, you know, you're going to find a puck here or there. So yeah, it is a good spot. But that's, you know, listen, Bergie's back in the lineup. He's going in there. I mean, he's very good at it. But it does. I think it's given back some confidence that hopefully, no matter, you know, when Bergie comes back, that he's still going to be a confident player offensively, and you know, maybe we reconfigure the second unit a little bit so we use a little more of, you know, his talents in that one. That's something I have to consider.
Take 2 more questions if there are 2.
We've always considered the possibility of moving, with a full lineup, moving Pasternak down to David's line. Is that in the mix now when Patrice comes back to possibly go with those two pairings?
Yes. Again, Jake always factors into that, and without getting ahead of myself, because yes, you know, we could go in pairs then, Bergie, Marsh, Pasta, David. You know, where Jake goes from there, if he's in fact playing, but that's where the problems come in. If you split them up now, the third line, and we've tried to keep those kids together, they're going to have to, something's going to have to give on the other lines. But that's a good problem to have, like I said before, because, you know, listen, we want Bergie in the lineup, we want Krejci on. That's our 1A and 1B up the middle. So we'll sort it out from there, which kind of we've done all year, is just kind of see what fits best. And we're getting to the point where I think we have to look at it. We've talked about as we get healthier and our lineup's complete, where we're kind of sort of, you know, I think it's going to be till after Christmas, obviously, till we get everyone back, but it's coming.
Good. Thanks, everyone.